Take me home tonight. Listen, honey, just like Ronnie said. Just like Ronnie said. Whoa, whoa, yeah.
All right, hello and welcome back to another episode of the unofficial official podcast from Straight No Chaser. This is episode number 26. As always, I am Mike here with Segi and Tyler. What's going on, guys?
Hello.
What's going on? Recovering from that spring break action.
Yeah,
Yeah, took a little break.
yeah, it's nice to see you guys. You guys who listen, you'll have noticed that we had the last couple weeks off as all of us were traveling and we had breaks, lots of hangouts with the kids. And now we're back home and we're going to start the podcast up again. So that's exciting. How have you guys been for the last couple weeks?
Good. Yeah, we did the spring break thing down in Florida. It's funny because I don't think we knew this before we booked it, but Segi and I went to the exact same spot in Florida, as well as so did Steve, I
I
think,
saw
right?
Steve.
Oh, you saw Steve.
Yeah, we met up with Steve and Emily for drinks
Oh, nice.
two years in a row, randomly being in the same city as other group members and having no idea.
Yeah, and then another guy that we went to college with, Jason Jacobs, was there the same week I was there.
Yeah,
Well, I didn't meet up with
SNC,
him, but
SNC
yeah,
alum.
it was a cool spot. They had a lot of stuff for the kids to do, and our place had its own pool, which was key. I would recommend that for anybody with small children, that if you have a pool that's like close or you have your own pool at your Airbnb, very key.
Nice. That's interesting that you guys ran into people that you knew. That's just really random. You can't really stay away from each other for too long. So it
There's
just
only
has to
so many
happen like
warm
that.
places.
Yeah, that's true. I was going to ask you guys if you think that there are any SNC updates that we could share with the listeners before we welcome a special guest for this evening.
Have we talked about like adding on to Asia at all, or no?
I'm
No,
not
I
sure we
mean
have.
we just confirmed it today.
Yeah.
No, I mean the middle part. Did we say that country?
We don't know if we're allowed to say anything about that just because of the nature of what it
Oh,
is.
if we
I
say it,
didn't
like
know that.
they'll have to kill you. If they tell
Yeah.
you, they'll have to kill you. Okay,
Okay.
so it rhymes with no, but we did. It's the good news is we did expand or add to our Asia tour, which is really cool because
Yes.
A, it would be silly to go over there for just one show. We would obviously do it. But and B, it's cool that we have more opportunities to perform over there because, like we've said, we've always wanted to go over there, and now we get this awesome opportunity to go over there and sing in a couple different countries. It's going to be very cool, and I don't know really what to expect, but yeah, we're all pumped.
3 countries. It's going to be awesome. I can't wait. A lot of miles. A lot of
Mm.
miles. Going to be crushing that status next year.
It's a long way there. It's a long way back, but I think it's going to be worth it. I need to work on some of the music that we're going to do because I saw some of the songs floating around today. And some of those songs that we're going to do over there, I have not sung in a while. That'll be interesting.
Yeah. So we thought of basically our goal is to, in a new country or a new market, to put our best foot forward and put our best set forward. So we're putting together songs that we think is going to do that. But I'd be curious to hear from the fans, like if we had never been to this spot or to this area, what would you suggest for us to do to put our best foot forward?
So basically
Yeah.
what I did was I just went through all of our set lists for the past dozen years and checked the chart positions
Good idea. Yeah.
in each of these countries for all these songs, and then aggregated all that information and picked out all the bangers. I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, this song crushed in this country. It did really well in this country. And that's basically how we came to our set list. And if you just looked at the set list, you'd be like, oh, okay, that makes sense. These are all like massive hits. It's just like we rehearsed every day, Home by Christmas Day,
All of our original songs.
all of our original songs. Although Text Me would crush over there,
Yeah.
but it's not the holiday season.
Yeah. And we are still working on music for the 90s show that we have over the summer. I think we've released all of the show dates for that. And if you want to see where we're going and if you want to get your tickets, you can go to sncmusic.com and we'd love to see you there. I think it's going to be a really fun summer.
Yeah,
Um,
the new
so-
tunes are starting to roll in, so it's
Yeah.
great.
90s part 2.
Yeah. So we're looking forward to that. But as I mentioned earlier, we're going to have a special guest join us. He is an alumnus of Straight No Chaser. And right now, he is one of the hosts of a morning show in Indianapolis. The name of that show is Indy Now. I think you guys know who I'm talking about. If you could welcome, please, Ryan Ahlwardt to the pod.
Hold for applause. Hold for applause.
He's in the
Technology.
waiting room.
Technology is connecting.
I haven't even pushed it. I'm just letting this go.
Oh,
It's
this is
Coming
hilarious.
great.
on.
This is great. So he has all the power right now.
And I just admitted him. Here he comes.
All right.
He just comes on. We're all just no clothes on. Here he comes.
If he's in a full suit, I'm gonna laugh really loud.
What up,
There he
bros?
is.
There he is.
Hey, Ryan Ahlwardt, welcome to the unofficial official podcast.
Welcome, Ryan.
I am trying to adjust my speakers so I can hear you guys through my headphones and not my computer.
And also, if you want to look at the camera, because there you go.
There he is.
I'm just trying to figure it out.
Okay, well, you figured it out, so we can hear you, and you look great.
Thanks.
And,
Thanks, guys.
What mic
Yeah.
are you talking to us from?
I'm using my Slate Digital with the Chaotica eyeball on top of it.
Okay, Slate
Nice.
Digital.
Okay.
Come on now.
Yeah.
I think what you're actually using is your laptop. I don't think you've changed over
Yeah,
to the
input.
microphone.
Yeah, it's pretty roomy.
Hold on.
This also works too. I mean, if you want to leave
No,
it
we
like
gotta get it. We gotta get it good.
I can hear you through
There
my
it is.
computer, but I can't.
there, you
There
go.
we
you
go.
Slate Digital in the house.
Come on now,
That's
Hi
right.
guys,
Ryan.
Hey, Ryan.
Welcome. It's
Well,
nice to
that's-
have you.
thanks
Well,
for
that's all
having
the
me.
time we have.
It-
Thank you.
It's really nice that you were able to make a little bit of time for us this evening. I know that we were supposed to hook up last night, but you were dealing with some weather stuff at home, right?
Yeah, we had to be down here in the basement, which was a first for us as a family, but we were okay. The tornado touched down like about a mile north of us, so we
Oh man.
That's real
yeah,
close.
it got pretty gnarly there for a second.
How are the kids?
Gus was totally fine, and Olivia was absolutely terrified.
Jeez.
That was a good time, but it was fine. No damage in the neighborhood, so we're all good. How about you
Okay.
guys? Good.
We had some storms down here, but all is good. So
We
all
had
is
a
good.
crazy lightning storm last night. Like the rain was pretty mild, but man, just the sky was lit up all night. It was pretty awesome to watch. I like watching lightning storms. It's
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
pretty.
Good. Ryan, we wanted to what?
I'm just laughing at us. Just,
This is what we do here.
yes,
Um,
casually
out.
talking about the weather.
Yeah.
So we wanted to have you on,
Yeah.
and we just wanted to see what you've been up to since you left the group, what your life is like now since you've left the group, and if there's anything that you miss about the group and everything associated with this life.
Yeah. Well, first of all, thanks for having me on. I've been looking forward to this for a while. I absolutely love what you guys are doing, and I think it is entertaining and fun and brings back a lot of really good memories and gives me a lot of good laughs. And yeah, so love the pod. Honored to be
Good.
on. Yeah, man. So I left, as many of you guys may know, I left SNC at the end of 2012. So I've been out longer than I was in, and went to do 5.5 years of ministry with an organization called Young Life, which I wouldn't have known about had it not been for Mike and his family back in the day in high school.
Oh, yeah.
He was
That's
involved in that in high school. That was the first time I had ever heard about Young Life, was when you went off to a camp in Colorado for some summer or something.
So Mike was the reason you left.
Yeah.
Yep, that's it. We
We
got
got
that.
it.
We got that
You-
record. Okay.
You
We
could
On the
got it.
record.
logically connect that thread. But yeah, did
Could
that
be only
for
one Fisher's kid.
Lauren and I had volunteered with the organization as we were engaged and in the first couple of years of our marriage. And then we got the call that Straight No Chaser was getting back together with Atlantic 3 months into our marriage. We hit the ground running, man. And so had to step away from volunteering to go full time with SNC. And then in 2011, I remember this clear as day, man. I was the first to land in the UK, and I met up with Jerome, and we met the bus driver. and just had some time to chill. And like I was jet lagged, and I was just, it was that time that it was that tour that we were on, like that one double-decker
Oh my
bus,
The
gosh,
the
yeah.
yellow one.
which has so many stories attached to it. But I just remember being like, man, I wonder how much longer I'm supposed to be doing this. And that began like a year of internally searching for just some clarity of what's the next step. And then I think it was in September of 12 where we were home for a little bit before fall rehearsals. And I was literally getting a haircut, doing the things you do when you're home for a little bit before tour. And I heard about this opportunity that Young Life was looking for a staff person. And it was like immediately something within me was like, hey, listen to this conversation, learn a little bit more. I had a couple conversations before Lauren and I took a vacation. Then the group gets back together, and like things started to develop where I'm like, I think this is my off ramp. And I wanted to come home. We wanted to start a family, and we didn't want to raise kids apart. And it was a great opportunity, man. And obviously a bittersweet one and tough one to have to make the call on. But yeah, I did that for 5.5 years. So left that in summer of 18. And then that whole time I was getting into voiceover work and was performing and releasing my own music and doing the freelance entrepreneur thing, a lot of different things that I was doing creatively. And then, yeah, I think after pandemic hit, that's when I got this opportunity that I'm currently doing with the lifestyle show called Indy Now on Fox 59 here in Indy. And yeah, it's about 3.5 years that I've been doing that now. And it's just a totally different rhythm of life now that I see you guys in December, and we're doing this now. And Mike and I, you and I've got our songwriting thing that we do. And I'm very happy to know still to this day that I left the group on great terms with sometimes there's a breakup or a split and like you can't be in the same room with someone. It's like the exact opposite of that we pick up right where we left off.
Via Zoom.
To answer your question, Mike, about what do I miss about SNC, like my kind of canned answer is I miss the guys. I don't necessarily miss the lifestyle.
Yeah.
And I know that things have changed so much since I was even a part of the group professionally. So I think if I were to like switch positions with you guys, it would probably be an adjustment period of like how you guys have then changed and evolved since I left the group. But I'm just proud from afar, man. It's fun to see you guys succeeding, and especially doing this, that you three are doing this now too.
Yeah. I would be interested if you ever had a moment once you left, after you left, where you thought, I'm not sure that I made the right decision.
I don't know if it was a moment of I'm not sure that I made the right decision, but it definitely was a shock. It's kind of it was a full stop. And like my last show was December 23rd of 2012. My first day on Young Life staff was January 2nd of 2013. So I had the holidays, and then it was like, hey, you're in new staff training and in totally different world. And so for me, the biggest shift was when, or I guess the earliest shift was when you guys announced your next tour to support Under the Influence, which was the last SNC album that I was a part of, but it came out after I left the group. And so that was a big adjustment to see the stuff on social and all the tour prep and promo and be like, wait a second.
Oh, interesting. I forgot about that. Yeah.
And it was, hey man, no offense, but we got to keep trucking and you're doing your thing and we got to keep moving over here. And so we wish you well, but it was in the best interest for the group from a business perspective to be like, hey, we got to get a new member. That's when Steve came back. And so for me, it was just kind of this whirlwind for honestly, like probably a solid 1.5 years, almost 2 years while I was getting my feet on the ground. I think I'm like the only person in history to go from like professional a cappella singer to youth ministry guy. And it was a lot that first year too, where man, it was an emotional roller coaster for me. I think if I could go back, I'd probably tell myself like, hey, go get some counseling like regularly to offload the stuff that you're now up against with teenagers in the world that they're in at that time.
Totally.
So that was a really hard adjustment, man. Like that first year was just so tough. There was a young woman who ended up taking her own life, and that really had a profound impact on the entire community, not just me, but man, it was like, hey, you are out of this and you are in this now, and go.
Wow.
And so that was a really big adjustment. And so it was almost like, man, I didn't even have not necessarily the time, but like even just the emotional ability to, or the mental ability just to figure out like there was no time to look back. And I am a sucker naturally for nostalgia. Like I love the rearview mirror. Like it's kind of part of my wiring. And so for me, it was, yeah, it wasn't anything like, man, I made the wrong call. It was just like, oh my gosh, what am I even doing in life right now? It was just kind of, you're underneath the wave, just getting churned around. But, and that's why I say to my earlier point too, I'm so glad that I was able to leave on good terms, that it wasn't like, hey man, I've had enough and I can't take it any longer. It was like, man, I really feel like I'm being called into this next season of life and I need to go do it. So yeah, it's never been a regret. I think the toughest part, even to this day, and of course time makes it easier, but I just miss you guys. Like I miss the regular interactions. I miss the face-to-face. One thing the pandemic taught us is, hey, technology is great. It allows us to do this kind of thing real time, but there's something about being in the same space as another person.
For sure.
For sure. Yeah.
And really sharing that room together and that space together. Even the onstage stuff was great. Like the show is always, it's kind of the sandbox. It's like my version of 10 to 11 in the morning every day, Monday through Friday, being on TV now. It's just fun. But almost the things that I probably miss the most are just like the shout from down the hall backstage being like, hey man, we're going to go get some coffee. You want to go? You know?
Yeah.
And it's okay. Yeah. Where are we? Oh, we're in Norfolk today. Great. Yeah. Let's go see what Norfolk has to offer, or wherever that was. We're just kind of like, hey, Ryan, who's coming to the show tonight? Do you know anybody? Just like those kind of dressing room conversations just down the hall.
I
The
think
everyday stuff.
I think I said this.
I asked
said
you
this-
that in confidence, actually.
Oh,
Wasn't meant for the podcast.
I think I said
Right,
this
right.
on an earlier pod, but I think that I said that my favorite time like of a show day is in between the show and the signing line, because everybody has to be around and we're just hanging and waiting and usually just making jokes or laughing or talking about that's like the coolest time.
yeah. Like you're done with the work part of the day.
Right.
And you still got to go do a little
Yeah,
meet and
yeah.
greet, and that's fun.
Yeah.
But everybody's backstage chilling. As David Britz is known to have said, it's all about the hang.
Sure is.
Right.
And
Indeed.
or a fun time was post at the very end of the day. Like you've cleaned up at the venue, you've packed up, you've made sure you're not leaving a phone charger behind, and you're getting on the bus. Crew's kind of still doing their thing, and like the front or the back lounge hang. Man, one of my favorite memories of touring, and it wasn't necessarily like where we were going or like what city we were coming from. It was, I think it was like the first big, it wasn't 09. I think it was 10. I think it was fall of 10, where we were somewhere out in like California. And we were passing the aux cord around the back lounge. I think Charlie was there, Donnie was there. And it was just like this, hey man, you get a song. Okay, now I got to play you a song. Oh, now man, you guys got to hear this song. And just like the window was open, the sound of the road, the warm breeze coming through, you're with your friends. Life is good. You don't have anything to do until tomorrow at 4 p.m.
This sounds like a Ryan Ahlwardt song.
Yeah. But those were my favorite memories, man. Just that, the glow of the back lounge and just knowing that you're in a moment, especially at that time too, the earlier season of the professional group. We had all that history together from IU, but like we knew we were trying to build something really great. Just to have that time where, man, life is good. Or another good memory of going to the Grand Canyon, having the day off, and we're there and kind of realizing halfway down, be like,
We went way too far.
We got to get out of this thing too.
We went way too far. We're like, oh, this is so easy.
But just
Jeez.
making each other laugh, making fun of each other, and just being in the moment together, and then didn't have a thing to do with music. That's probably what I miss most. I would say that I'm most grateful for. I miss it because I'm grateful for it.
Yeah.
You just jostled this memory of that hike back up
Oh,
on the Grand Canyon. And there's so many things that were so great about that, because we're all in like jeans and not hiking shoes.
Oh,
And we were like, oh, let's just stroll down and see what's going on. And we went down probably like 1.5 miles, 2 miles.
yeah.
And they were like, oh, wait, it's starting to get dark and cold. We should probably head back. And on the way back, I have a picture of this. K-Merch was wearing a Coca-Cola shirt. And we walked past this foreign tourist wearing a Pepsi shirt. Also, we were like ripping shots of Crown Royal on this hike, which was
That checks out.
so
there
smart.
we go.
Not us. I wasn't.
Not smart in the altitude like that.
I
though.
wasn't.
That was not.
Well,
that
that's
would
why
not
we
be-
went down, so we weren't in
Right.
the altitude.
Oh, right. Okay.
We just
well,
got
come
like
back up.
Cliff Bars from catering the night before.
We shared one bottle of water.
yeah,
Yeah.
We'll be fine as long as we're together. It's fine.
So on the way back up, I was like, oh man, we got to get a picture of you guys. And I just have this hilarious picture of Kmart like squaring up with this guy. And this guy's like, what's happening? Like, why did I come to this country?
Oh, that's
That's
great.
So
great.
stupid.
That's hilarious.
Oh man, I got to find that picture now. It's great.
Yeah. Do everything you can to find that one picture.
Yes,
I
please.
will. I know exactly where it is.
Yeah.
It's in my phone.
Ryan, what's happening with your music? I know that you are working on a new record right now. If you could let us know a little bit about that and where we can hear it and where we can find it and stuff.
Yeah, for sure, man. I'm working on a new album of 10 original songs. I have one more to write. The album is called Crying in the Canyon, and it's going to be coming out Labor Day weekend of 2025. So depending upon
Nice.
when you're listening
Okay.
to this. Yeah, I
Wait,
think
is it about that hike?
No, it's fitting that story. Wow, the story totally teed up that album name.
Seriously.
This album is a collection of songs. It's if Crosby, Stills, Nash and Young, America, James Taylor, and the Eagles left some songs on the table, like what would they
Sure.
have sounded like? And so I really wanted to go on this album. There is, I don't think, one song on this album that is about my life. It's not a
Oh,
it's
that's
not
cool.
It's not like an autobiographical album at all. I'm not
Mhm.
really pulling from anything internally. It's really, I set out to write like kind of just a mood album. What I was realizing about all those artists that I just named and others that I love from that era of the early 70s, kind of my parents' generation of music that I was really raised on, they wrote a lot of just feeling songs, like mood songs. They just make you feel certain ways. And it's not necessarily that they're like, you know, I think of Lion Eyes by the Eagles just arbitrarily. I think of that one that kind of influenced one of the songs on the album. Like they just wrote a story. Nice. There's the picture. That's great, dude.
Oh my gosh. If you're
miss
watching
merch.
on YouTube, you just saw an awesome picture.
I love that.
So good.
And then he
but-
passed out.
Yeah.
But it's just this story that they created. It's about two characters and there's a story and there's tension in the song and resolution and kind of this arc, but it's all these beautiful harmonies and instrumentation and the arrangement's great. And so I was honestly at that point, and I've been working on the album for almost 2 years, just tired of writing songs about my life. Like
Mhm.
I need a total pivot. I just
Mhm.
want to write songs that I would want to listen to and in that style. And it's really cool, man. I've been working on it with my producer, Matt Mellinger here in Indy, on and off. It's not what either of us are doing full time. He works at our church full time. I'm doing the Indy Now thing. And so when we
Mhm.
can carve out time to track, I was just in the studio last night working on song number 9. But it's cool, man. It's very much like influenced by the American Southwest.
Great.
It's got
Yeah.
those vibes to it. A lot of vocal harmonies, a lot of guitars, 12 string, 6 string. I just bought a new nylon classical guitar that I've never
Yeah.
had on a song before, and I just tracked with that
Nice.
last night. Our
Nice.
friend Mike Jeremy Diffie from the cruise ship days plays flute, sax. He's got some of his friends from Australia playing some other woodwinds and horns on it. A lot of B3, a lot of Wurlitzer. So it's just a really cool album, and I'm really proud of it. And I really think it's my best collection of
Yeah.
songs so far. So I'm really excited for people to hear it.
That's
But
awesome, man.
in addition,
World music.
Yeah. Honestly, like there's
World
con-
music is your genre now. World
yeah,
music.
one of my supporters and patrons coined this term breezy listening. And I was
Okay.
like, man, I love that. That helps me so much hone like how I want this to feel. I want it to feel like that back lounge where the windows open and everything's right and just warm and mellow. But also like last night's song was more of an up tempo, like it's got a lot of Latin flavor to it, which I've only dabbled in a little bit in the past. And so the whole chorus is in Spanish, you know,
World music.
why not?
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. So it's pretty cool, man.
Nice.
Yeah. Dominican Republic.
That's
I
like
think
on
in
base,
Babe.
like
I think
on
in Babe.
Nice.
Oh my God. See, that's what I love about this group is that you can say that and I'm immediately on the cruise ship. Alfonso Floriano, Dominican Republic, think in Babe. But yeah, that's the new album coming out, I think September 5th or 6th of this fall.
Where are we able to stream it and buy it and all the merch and all that stuff too?
Once it is out, you can get it on Apple Music, Spotify, wherever you listen to your music, Amazon, all the good streaming services. We are going to be doing some more music videos and visual video content for that for promotion.
Cool.
I want to print some vinyls up for it as well. My website is just ryansongs.com and Ryan Songs for all socials.
Awesome.
Yeah, man.
But in addition
Well,
to
I'm gonna look forward to
your-
that.
Thanks,
in addition
man.
to your
Great.
recorded music
Yeah.
and Indy Now, there's also another way people could get their fill of Ryan Ahlwardt. Maybe a little talk about that.
Are you talking about Patreon?
No,
Because Mike and I have one of those too.
We
With
do.
our small town city duo.
we've toyed with that idea, but I'm talking
Yeah.
about
Yeah.
your live show.
Oh, yes, man. Thank you. Sorry. It's honestly, it's been a while since I've had a show. For the first time in forever, I had to cancel a show because my voice, after having COVID for the fourth time at the top of this year, there was just some swelling on my cords. And like, you guys are obviously in touch with your voices too. So like when things feel off, like even the most small thing, you're like, ooh, what's going on there? And it was just persisting, and I was clearing my throat a lot, and I just wasn't able to create what I wanted to create with my voice. So I went to my ENT and got scoped, and fortunately there weren't any nodes or polyps or anything on my cords, but there was some pretty significant swelling from having COVID. And they just said, hey, like whatever you can take off your plate besides work, do it. You don't want to, strain anything or damage anything. And so Lauren and I made the tough call to cancel our last Indy Nights show, which is a concert that we put on every other month at a really cool venue. You guys have played there, Feinstein's at Hotel Carmichael here in Carmel, Indiana, on the north side of town. And it's fun, man. It's like a 90-minute variety show that Lauren and I host. We have special guests. We have a full band, drums, bass, keys, and electric guitar, and I play acoustic. And there's humor, there's storytelling, there's
Magic.
there's magic. We've had
Magic. Wow.
we've had
Magic's
puppets.
Magic's the best.
It is. It's fun. It's such a swanky, cool club. It's like you almost feel like you're in like the late 50s in Vegas or New York somewhere, and it's just fun. And like literally tables go all the way up to the stage. And so that's called Indie Nights. We've been doing that for about a year and a half. And Mike, you've been a guest and will be another guest
Absolutely.
in
Yeah.
September. You're
In
coming
September.
back for that.
Yeah.
And then we have another
I'm looking
show
forward to it.
concept. Yeah, dude, we can't wait to have you back, man. We have another show concept called Human Jukebox. And so we played at a really nice steakhouse here in town for 5 years in the bar called Prime 47, also in Carmel, Indiana. And that had run its course, and it had given us a ton of reps of just owning a room for 3 hours. Hey, let's entertain these people. Let's not get in the way of dinner or their conversation. But then when it's time to turn up, let's do it. And so that really gave us a good education of taking the knowledge I already had from Straight No Chaser days and then making it more spontaneous. And so Lauren and I, we basically show up and we don't know what we're going to sing. It's all requests. And
Oh, cool.
We have a couple iPads. We have a system of like how people can do their requests. We take little mini breaks where we'll play games with the audience, and we've got spin the wheel, and it's like celebrity impersonations that we do. So it's all right, sing How Deep Is Your Love in the style of the Swedish Chef, or hey, you're going to be Celine Dion singing a Green Day song or whatever it is. And it's really fun. It keeps us on our toes. Lauren has got an improv and theater background. And so it's just wild, and it requires zero rehearsal, and we just show up, plug in and
That's
play.
great.
Wow, that's
And
awesome.
so it's a blast, man. That's every other month. So we alternate every month. And it's cool, man. Cause like when people are like, hey, where can we see you perform live? It's like, hey, come to Feinstein's in Carmel.
Yeah.
Whether you want the full band experience, whether you want just the two of us. And we'll do some private corporate stuff as well. I'm emceeing a lot of events now because of the morning show. So we're keeping busy. Thank you for that plug, Segi.
Yeah, dude, I got you.
I was going to ask if you were arranging anything. I know you've been out of the a cappella scene now for like however many years, but I was wondering if that's something you miss or that you want to do some more of, or
Yeah, man. A lot of the arranging lately has been in my head for backing vocals for the songs that I'm recording.
right.
That's pretty much every day on my way to work when I'm listening to the latest demo or mix or whatever for my producer.
Sure.
Man, it's funny because like creatively I've gone in these spurts of like when it was SNC, that's all I was doing was arranging. Now it's a lot of writing. I still think to this day, I can't remember who asked us, but it was when towards the tail end of my time in the group, but someone was like, what's your ideal office environment? And I just blurted out, I was like, recording studio.
Right.
And they were like, really, not a stage? And I was like, stage is great. I love the stage. Oh my gosh, put me on stage. Let's do it. But like, where can you spend all day for a week? Give me the recording studio, creating something with my people. And so I haven't arranged an official arrangement in a long time, but I am thankful for the time that SNC, especially as we all got Logic and we all got our microphones and we all got set up and stuff, like the way that totally reversed the arranging process.
Yes.
Where you're throwing ideas down first,
Yeah.
seeing how they sound in your own ears, and then bringing it to the group, as opposed to in college when it's just you and a keyboard and your computer, and you're like, well, I hope this
You
sounds
have no
good.
idea how it's going to be.
I got to go print physical copies of this and pass it out to the group and take notes and then go back and edit and all that. But totally reverse it and just streamlined everything. I really do enjoy the arranging process, though. Probably
Cool.
to a fault of the editing and making sure everything's like all nice and lined up. And it's just,
Yeah.
dude, just get the basic idea down. But
Yeah.
I would like to continue to arrange for like special projects and stuff. I think would be really cool. I would just want to get commissioned to be like, hey, do a vocal jazz arrangement for a group that you have no tie to. Okay, cool. I could do that.
Well, I know that you and I are going to be working on an arrangement of a song.
Yeah.
That
I didn't know if
we're
I could.
gonna-
I didn't know if I could share that or not, Mike. So that's
Well,
why I was a little cloak
I
and
mean,
dagger
we can
about it.
share that. I think we can share that we're going to work on it, but
You already
not the song or what
Yeah.
it might be for. But yeah, that's going to be fun.
Yeah.
Okay, so I know that we got a lot of questions from our listeners, and I think we're going to read those and have Ryan answer those here in a minute. But right now, we would like you to hear a word from this episode's official sponsor.
Thanks for listening to the unofficial official podcast brought to you by three guys from Straight No Chaser. It's really fun, and I've had a great time so far. My name's Ryan. I used to be in this group, and sometimes when I want a mouthful of fresh breath, but I don't want a full piece of gum, I reach for an Australian tea tree chewing stick. Australian tea tree chewing sticks. Purchase 4 boxes for $23 on Amazon. These were introduced to us at Airtime Studios by producer and Renaissance man Dave Weber, who's probably foraging for mushrooms right now as we speak in Bloomington. Tea tree Australian tea tree chewing sticks come in one variety, mint. There's about 200 in one small plastic box. Great for the car, the backpack, or your pocket. They're good and they're good for you. So put it in your mouth. Australian tea tree chewing sticks. All right, guys, back to you.
Yeah.
Thank you for that word from Australian Tea Tree Sticks. As you heard, they are available on Amazon. They are available at any local store, any local grocery store.
any
and
store that's probably smells like patchouli. Definitely
You'll be able
has
to find
these.
them at the checkout.
Make your own
Uh,
mucilix.
We have used those for a long time.
If they sell glass
dude.
or water pipes,
Dude, I
they've
love
got
these
these
things.
toothpicks.
I got the kids hip to them, man. The Gus doesn't like
So-
them, but Olivia likes them. I should have said they've got like
Was
cinnamon.
Gus
and
just
mint oil.
roll into elementary school like Razor Ramon with a toothpick sticking out of his mouth?
Hey, ladies.
Well, good.
Australian
I'm
Tea
glad,
Tree Chewing Sticks. Thank you, Ryan.
glad we had that sponsor because
Absolutely.
my other sponsor was going to be this little thing called Indy Now, but who cares?
Oh, wow.
Um,
Okay. I can do that one too if you want. And honestly, that's one of my favorite part of the episodes because I forget that you guys do it. And then it's just so seamless and it's just about something so random where you're
Yeah.
like, if you're listening,
It's whatever
Buy
is
Lululemon
insane.
pants.
Yeah.
It's usually whatever is like within my reach.
I love it.
Got wine? Need to open it? Get one of these.
How about a wine opener? Yeah, I will just heap some more praise on this show. I've got a picture of you, Mike, when we were in, oh man, I can't even remember where it was.
Seattle.
Was it Seattle?
Yeah.
We were at some radio station and
think it was Delilah.
Seacrest's Mike, or no, it was Delilah.
Yeah, Delilah.
Yeah. And you were sitting behind her setup and I was like, hey
Yeah.
man, let me get a picture of that. And you were just like mid fake conversation in front of the mic.
It's
And I've
funny.
always liked that picture because I was like, you could totally do that one day. And now you're doing it. And I love
Well.
that you guys are creating this product for yourselves, but also for chasers and fans of SNC everywhere. And it's cool. Like I've really enjoyed the episodes. I've heard
Yeah,
stories.
thanks, man.
It's really fun to hear stories from the same story from different people's perspective.
Oh yeah.
Sure.
I love how you guys do that. How did you like even everyone's unique story that you guys are discovering? Oh my gosh, I've known you since
Right.
2000, but I had no idea that's how you found the group, or
Yeah.
that one teacher inspired you. Segi, I loved your episode of talking about your teachers and how like fast you rattled them all off. It was really cool to know, wow, they were really influential to bring you to where you are today. So yeah, I love what you guys are doing, man.
Well, thank
thanks,
you.
man.
And,
Thank you.
and enough about us and more about you, our special guest. So we had some people respond to our Instagram story with some questions for you. We'll just do this rapid fire.
Great.
So it doesn't need to be long-winded
Okay.
or a lot of thought, just whatever comes to mind.
Cool.
First question, JM92482 says,
Jenny Minsberg.
favorite arrangement for S&C college or professional?
Oh man, I would say Till There Was You or Soldier.
Both good. I was going to say R.E. Hest when everything seems wrong.
I believe
Gosh.
it's Solider.
All 6,000 pages. All right, next question comes from PJ8668. What's the best prank or joke you played on the other guys? And what's the best one they played on you?
That I played on the guys.
Ooh, I know the one.
Mike, help me out. I know
I
the
know the
best
one
prank that
played
I've
on
had
you.
played on me.
Yeah.
Oh, you were
Was-
in the bunk, right?
No, I was
No.
going into the
Oh,
bunk.
I
and
thought-
Randy was in the
okay.
bunk, right?
Randy.
I thought that was yours. Okay.
It was the
Oh,
Rand
yeah.
monster, and he
Yeah.
was in my bed and barked at me and freaked me out. And Charlie knew about it because Charlie was like, "Hey man, how you doing?" to signal to Randy, "Hey, he's coming."
Yeah.
And then I just slide open the curtain, and Randy just leaps and barks at me and freaked me the hell out, man.
That's
I don't know if I pranked anyone per se. I was just thinking about the season with the Smirnoff Ice thing when that was like,
Jeez.
I mean, we were
A
all
thing.
terrified. Yeah,
Yeah.
we're like, we would literally go on stage with like ices in our pocket or like on a.
Steiny iced me this year. In
Yeah,
Seattle.
he brought it back. It was
I
awesome.
was like, really, dude?
That's
would.
funny.
But I took it like a champ.
I'm not one to necessarily prank. I usually clown on, but I don't prank.
It's a tough thing because, man, if you do that, then like Pandora's box, because
I
it's
know.
And you never know just how anyone's going to take it, right? Like
Yeah.
it's got to be the right thing.
it's got to be
Yes.
the right
Like,
person.
It's gotta
Right
be the
person, right
person.
Because
time.
there are
Yeah.
some dudes that are not
Uh-huh.
That would
good
just
with
not
that.
play.
Yeah,
Which is fine, like whatever. But we know each other well enough. But
Oh, yeah.
again,
Yeah.
like we're together so long and so frequently that
Yeah.
if this starts, then
Yeah.
it's just gonna
Yeah,
go
there's
forever.
no end. There's no end.
Yeah,
Good
there-
question.
All right.
Okay,
All
next
right,
question.
so I'm gonna pivot. Do you remember this is not involving anyone on this podcast,
Oh,
but
this will be great.
somebody pranked Bob. Bob is one of our longtime crew members. He's been there
Oh.
since the beginning, and
Yeah.
this was, I don't know, however many years ago, but somebody pranked Bob. And Bob got so pissed that whoever pranked him, he took all of their clothes and shipped them to his house.
It was Lammers.
No, it was
Funny, dude.
D2's guy, Joe.
Oh, Joe.
Oh,
man, that's
my
funny.
goodness.
See,
I was
you
like-
Tyler, you just named 3 people who I have no idea who they are.
Bob,
Like
no, Bob,
I know Bob, but like the other guy, that's how things have shifted so
Yeah.
much. Where I'm like,
Joe,
I-
D2,
yeah,
and
Joe, D2, the guy.
Well, we couldn't afford crew back in
Yeah, when
those days.
There was a lot we couldn't afford. My last show, you guys pranked me really well.
That's
Bob,
right.
Bob was in on that prank.
yeah, silly string, right?
Yeah. So he actually came to me in sound check, and he was like, "Hey, man, I'm gonna leave some silly string for you to
oh,
prank
that's right.
guys with." And I was like, "Perfect." And so he's like, "It's gonna be right here." And I was like, "Okay, all right, got it." He's like, "It's this moment during this song." I was like, "Cool." So I go
Mm.
back there, and there's nothing there. And then I look over to Bob, and he just gives me a shrug. And then I go back in place, and all of you guys have the silly
Had
string.
it. Yeah.
And
Call
there's a
Me
great,
Maybe, right?
I think so.
I think it was Call Me Baby.
There's a great picture of Don just dying on stage, and it look like if you've seen Spaceballs, it's like Pizza the Hut, just covered in silly string, like head to toe, and Don is just cracking up at it. And I don't know if I still have that suit, but the silly string stains were still in it.
Oh my gosh.
I do know a prank that I did the year after I left. I came.
Oh yeah.
It was the first time seeing you guys back in Indy, and I had that suit.
Oh yeah.
And I told Corby, Richard Corby, the tour manager at the time, I said, "Hey man, I need to find a time when I can sneak backstage and change. I want to prank the guys when they come back out for the second set." And he's great. I know exactly when to do it. So I'm changing into my suit. I see you guys beforehand, normal clothes. I'm like, all right, cool. I'm going to go back out there, change. And then as you guys walk back out into the wings from backstage, I'm just like any other show, cleaning off like an in-ear,
Yep.
like getting the mic, having some water, just chit-chatting with whoever's backstage. Didn't say, "Hey guys," and everybody had a different reaction. Jerome did his thing where he just shook it, like cocked his head, pointed my fingers, "Well done, Ryan, well done." But he's business mode, like he's about to go out on stage. Charlie died. And it was just it was fun to see each guy's different reaction. And then I watched the show from the side of stage, and it was great.
Nice.
All right. We have LaCribs asks, what was your favorite song to sing lead on with the group?
Oh man, that's a good question. I think I really enjoyed. I loved the Elvis medley that we did. in Atlantic City. I loved that whole back and forth thing we did. I loved the Beatles Stones medley I did and just how that all came to be. That actually, I should have answered that for Jenny Mintzberg's question. I should have thrown that in the mix too. Yeah, I mean, I grew up listening to Elvis when I was like 8, 9 years old. I actually found an old family video at my parents' of me performing as Elvis at a family reunion. And the laughter and the joy on my family's faces was so cool to see. And so becoming Elvis in Atlantic City was really fun to do.
I think there was a holiday song too of his that you did.
Yeah, I think we recorded
and you did
it. I don't
lead
know
on
if I
it.
performed it, but yeah, I did.
The
Santa Claus is
Never-
back in town.
never
Santa Claus
performed-
back in
Never
town. Yeah,
performed.
Never performed it. Yeah, that was in the studio, and Deke Sharon, co-producer on the album.
that's right. That's
He
right.
just let me go. He was
Cool.
like, "All right,
Oh
man,
my
the
gosh.
weirder the better. Go." I was like, "Okay, here we go."
I was in there for I think some of that, and I just remember there's some outtakes out there that are awesome.
Yeah, we need to find the.
We
Yeah.
need to
We need to
find those
find
because
them.
I was
D-Web's got them all.
I was crying laughing. I remember just oh my
Yeah.
because Deke was just like keep going. You just kept oh my gosh, we were dying.
Another song, totally other end of the spectrum emotionally, was "The Living Years."
Oh,
and
yeah.
I don't know if I know that I
Also never
performed
did
it.
that live.
Yeah, I don't
No.
think we ever performed it live, and that was we like the Grinch. We used the term we Grinched that song because the Grinch was one of the first ones that we built from the ground up, no sheet
Mhm.
music, just kind of sending guys in, hey, here, sing this. And so we Grinched Living Years. And Mike, I remember at one point, like D-Web had to step out and make a phone call or something, and you were at the computer.
Sure.
And it was the verse where it's like I didn't get to tell him all the things I had to say. It's
Mm-hmm.
like the line of the regret in that. I just got choked up by it. And you're like, hey man, I know it's hard. You got it. You got it though. And it was
Yeah.
just such a good, it was like the perfect thing friend to say
Yeah.
to get me like, hey man, and you didn't say it loud so anybody else could hear it. You just hit the talk back button. And you're like, hey man, I know it's hard. You got it though. You got it. Go ahead. And it was like, okay, snap me back into that mode of I got to get this. But
Nice.
use
That's
that,
a good
use
memory.
that,
Yeah. Yeah.
but also step up to the plate here.
Nice. That's a good memory.
Yeah, I love listening to that song, man.
Nice.
All right.
Good
Yeah.
one.
Rapid fire.
Sorry.
So here we go.
No,
With,
no,
And
no, this is good. This
and-
is good.
Yeah,
In 3 to 5 minutes or less, please explain.
Vicky Victoria asks, what is the
Brody.
most interesting thing you've learned about yourself since becoming a host?
the more sincerely you can be, the better. Don't show up being a host, show up being you. And that resonates the most.
Yeah.
You know,
That
there
makes
are moments
sense.
where it's, hey, you got to command the attention and kind of shift into that voice. But the more people, I like that guy, or I like the duo there. I like him and Jillian. They're good together. You can force that, but it's the way that it is behind the scenes for us too. We try to be as ourselves on screen as we are off.
It's
Which is very similar to
same
us.
thing
Yeah.
as S&C. Yeah.
Yep.
We're-
And I think probably SNC primed me for that
Sure.
and taught me that the more you can be, the more it brings the audience in.
Mhm.
Authenticity wins every time.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a great point, Seb.
Sarah Jane Garcia asks,
Jay.
as an arranger, is it more difficult to arrange for vocals or instruments?
I would say I've actually, I don't know if I've ever arranged. Well, I arranged one song that ended up becoming a vocal arrangement. It was Winter Wonderland. I arranged it for Matt Dusk, one of Britz's former clients, for a project that he was doing. And I had to think in terms of what the band was going to do. And I'd never really done that before. Still to this day, like I will show up with a song to my producer and be like, here's the palette, here's some of the song influences, the artistic influences. You hire the guys. Like, I literally texted him today. I was like, hey, I'd love to get Jeremy on some horn arrangements for this, some keys on it. We'll get our friend Steven on guitar. So it's kind of like I tell him that, but then he owns the whole band. So I would say vocals is more my wheelhouse and therefore easier. SJ. Good
Yeah, I
question.
agree. I think vocals have more of a limitation than instruments because it's almost endless.
Yeah.
Mix7W20ESQ asks, what's your favorite song you've written?
Man, it's a good one. I would say prior to this new album that I'm working on, my song Granary, that is so niche. It was inspired by the life and story of Paul Revere. Co-wrote it with Don out in Boston before a sound check at the Wang Theater. And this year is actually 2025 is the 250th anniversary of that midnight ride on April 18th. And so I'm actually pitching the song to some Boston media to see if they want to share the song in the music video.
Nice.
Yeah, I just so much of that sort. I could do one of these on that song alone, but I won't. So Granary got to go out to Boston and do the music video with Lauren and Matt and Megan, our closest friends. And anyway, that was great. I would say that was up to the new album. And then with this new album,
Every day, probably every day.
every day was a great song. The way that tune came together, dude.
So good, a country artist stole it.
I loved the way Mike rushed out to the courtyard of Glenwood Studios where you and I were just chilling, Seggy, and he was like, here's a song idea. Here's what I'm thinking. This is the chords. This is the melody. I need you guys to work on it because I got to go in and lay these vocals down for whatever. And we're like, okay.
Write lyrics.
So, yeah, just writing lyrics and writing ideas. And the three of us put that song together in a day. But yeah, on this new album, man, I think the title track, Crying in the Canyon, is probably the song that I'm just like, damn, I'm really proud that I wrote that song. It just, everything about it. I'm like, I love the lyric. I love the story. I love the arrangement. I love the vocal. So I'm really excited for people to hear it.
I like the song Wait. I think that's my favorite song of yours.
Wow, really? That's a deep
It's
cut,
old,
Mike.
but
That's a deep cut.
oh yeah, it's good.
Oh man, you
Oh,
guys
the
gotta
Wait.
get that. That was
I
that was on the
think you should listen
first
to it.
album
Yeah.
that I did after I left Straight No Chaser. And it's actually it's a worship album. And yeah, wait, that was the last song that I thought you were gonna say.
Is that the album with Janicki?
No, that was the one that, gosh, you're thinking of, it's called the Malibu EP.
Oh yeah.
Early
Yeah.
on.
That was like 07. That was because that was the name of the Young Life camp, the first one that I ever played music at in British Columbia. It was called Malibu.
Okay.
And Andrew Landau, our friend Andrew Landau, he was in Bloomington at the time. And he was like, you know what, man, you should just, if you're going to go play for a ton of kids every week for a month and you're playing your own music, you need to cut a CD that they were going to buy. And I was like, okay. I was like, what should I
he's
call
so
it? He's
right.
like, call it the Malibu. He's like, what's the name of the camp? I was like, Malibu. He goes, call it the Malibu EP. I was like, okay.
That's so him.
And yeah, Nick Janicki and I did that at Airtime in 4 hours. We cut, I think, 4
That's
originals
cool.
and 4 covers. Yeah,
Great.
it was wild, man.
Nice.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, I'm
Okay,
a big
next
fan
question.
of Round in Circles or In My Head.
Right. Oh yeah, that's a
It's
good
a
one.
jam. That's a jam. That was the first song that Mike and I recorded and wrote
Right.
senior year, I think, at IU for Small Town City. Shout
Round
out
in
to Small Town
Circles.
City.
I don't love the lyric.
It
that
still holds
D
up.
Here we go.
That
Here we go.
D-Web forced upon you. The
traffic
offender.
Yeah.
It's
You know,
so
here's the deal.
not-
Mike and I have had conversations like, do we change a lyric? And it's, you know
Yeah.
what? No,
No
we
one
wrote
cares.
this. No one cares. We wrote it, sings
Yeah.
fine. It rhymes. Sure, it's weird, but we wrote it when we were like 21. So just
Yeah.
keep it in.
Yeah.
Don't judge 21-year-old songwriter
Yeah.
as a 43-year-old
Well, it wasn't you
now.
guys. It was D-Web. Wasn't
Well-
that D-Web's lyric?
That was his lyric. Yes.
Yeah, we brought it, and we're because again, like Mike and I were like, hey, like 2/3 of this song's done. We need a
Yeah.
bridge.
Yeah.
And so D-Web would be like, okay, I'll work with you guys on this, and we'll crack
Here, how
that.
about this nonsensical collection of
He had
words
some
that
good
no
ideas.
human has
He
ever
did.
said
He
in
was-
this,
Some good
this
ideas.
sequence ever?
He was actually very good about that because I know as a college kid trying to make an a cappella album too, like he was very good at ideas and like
Mhm.
if you were stuck somewhere, oh maybe this needs more. He was so good at that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And also managing all the different personalities
Right.
and skill sets, and just being like, all right, let's get out at a real reasonable time tonight. Why don't you just do this idea? Like, okay.
Also loved long lunch breaks.
He
Just-
did.
Oh man.
Long. and he,
Oh man, long.
he would show back up like, "All right, let's go." We've been like,
All right.
Where have you been for the
Jeez,
last
dude.
2 hours?
Bro, it's dusk. How was
Matt
your
Du-
quinoa
Matt
with
Dusk?
like avocado?
I'm ready to
and-
go. So good.
Yeah, good questions.
Okay, I think there's a couple more.
We've got one more question.
Okay.
It's from Tetrep.
Yeah.
He asks, "Is your hair fake, and what kind of product do you use?"
No, the hair's not fake. I credit if the myth, if it's actually real that you get your hair from your mom's dad, I will give him credit because he had a great head of hair. But no, it takes less time than you think it would. It's a shower. My stylist girl, shout out Stacy at DL Lowry Salon in,
Come on,
in
DL
Indy.
Lowry.
Come on, DL Lowry. It's like a sea salt spray. So it's like you just go while your hair's
Gets
still
you,
wet.
gets you the volume.
It does get the volume. That's
Yeah,
what it
of
is.
course.
And then, so you do that while it's wet, and then you blow dry. And then, Tyler, to answer your second question, American Crew forming cream. It's the green little jar, the one with the green sticker
Okay.
on it.
She stays up all day, huh?
Yeah, man. This is
There it
this
is. That's
it.
it. I
Yeah,
love
I'm
it.
actually getting a
Okay.
haircut tomorrow. So
Boom.
yeah,
Nice.
it's part of the brand. It is, and I like it. It's fun.
Yeah.
I like having fun.
I mean, a feature, right? It's
Yeah.
distinct.
yeah,
It's memorable. It's
Oh my
like,
gosh.
it's
There-
like Steve Martin.
Yeah. Yes. And Steve Martin oddly looks just like my dad, L. Ahlwardt. There was a viewer who called our producer. She called the station. She didn't know who to ask for. She had a complaint though. And so she called and they get transferred to our producer, Abby. And Abby's, Ryan, I think this message is for you. And I actually don't have a phone at my desk because I just didn't want one. And so I took it away. Anyway, I don't know why that came up. But yeah, I get this call and she's like, so I'm calling about that one guy on the show on the Indy Now. I think his name's Ryan. His hair looks so stupid. I hate it. It goes off to one side and it's not on the other, and I hate it. Tell him to fix it. And I kept that. She took a video and sent it to me, and I just kept it because I'm like, it's what Charlie Meckling used to say: you can't please any of the people any of the time. If that's your bar, like anything above that's a win. And so I was just like, man, she really got triggered by something about that. But and then we addressed it the next day. We didn't call her out by name or whatever, but we were just like, I am getting a haircut today, just for those of you who don't have the show on mute and are being triggered about my hair right now. So anyway,
I don't know how much you can say or can't, are not at liberty to say, but what are some of the more hilarious complaints you've gotten? Because it's TV and they're, like you said, their complaints are going to come in no matter what. Or have you had any funny interactions with audience members at Feinstein's who might have been overserved or heckling or so? Because that happens. It's live theater.
It's a good question. Yeah, you'd think it would happen more at Feinstein's where they're so up close and personal, because we do. That's a live audience.
It's like
it's a live in-person audience. But when we do Indy Now, we have literally the same amount of people on average that watch the show. Or this was the number of people at the O2 Arena when we went to go support for, I think, Catherine Jenkins and Barry Manilow when we were out there. I might be confusing those two tours, but we're on stage at the O2 Arena and there's just 25,000 people there. And past 10 rows, you can't really see them. But so there's that many people watching at any given moment.
Well, it is Central Indiana's most watched lifestyle show.
Thank you, Sek. But in the studio, there's only 10 people. It's like me, my co-host Jill, maybe 1 to 2 guests, 3 crew members, a handful of people waiting to get on for the next segment or whatever. So if I can land a joke that makes Jillian laugh at either herself or myself, or the guest laugh about anything, like the guest is never the butt of the joke. They're laughing because of the joke, but they're never the joke. Or if I can make a crew member in the back who's like running prompter, if I can see my friend Eric cracking up, I'm like, all right, that landed. But usually the heckling is more on social media because of Indy Now. And it's usually some random person who it's just like it. And it really doesn't affect me as much as maybe 3-5 years ago it would have, just because it happens often and it's just okay, whatever. And they're just going to complain about anything. They'll complain about what Jillian or I wore. You're really upset about my shirt? Don't you have anything else to talk about?
I love haters.
I mean, you just gotta roll with it.
Yeah,
it's so fun.
Gotta
It's
roll
like,
with
all
it.
right, God bless you. Have a good day. Delete.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
Got other stuff going on. I heard a great quote for artists and entertainers and performers, or really anyone in general, but it specifically applies to anyone who's in the public eye, like what you guys are doing, what we've done together. If you live for the compliment, you'll die by the criticism. And it's just, man, you can't go on. You want that people have a good time. You want for people to have a good time at your performance in your show. But it's really start with trying to do the best performance that you possibly can. If it lands, and that's great. But it should almost be the same reaction as if they hated it. It's, wow, that's a bummer that they hated it, but I still feel like I did a good job. So I can go to bed at night being like, I did a good job with what I had today. Right now. But of course you want people, because that really is a sacred relationship between performer, artist, entertainer, and the audience, man. And I do miss that. I do miss that, because it used to be every night where you can see the people and you hear what songs or what jokes or what intros land. But with what I'm doing, the show is pretty formulaic. So it's like once the train's on the track, you got about an hour, but you're not really interacting with.
You don't get that instant gratification, or you don't get any feedback.
No.
Yeah.
So usually the feedback we get is
void.
like one person laughing, or however many people in the studio laughing, or a nasty comment on Facebook.
Yeah.
You know,
I mean, it was a terrible shirt. I had to say something.
Served.
No, I think haters are hilarious.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah,
That's great.
It's
I
more
wish we
often
had-
about them than it is about you.
Oh, of course. I wish
Yeah.
we had more of them. But yeah, so IndyNowTV.com. If people
Yep.
want to go and check out clips, it's on Monday through Friday on Fox 59 at 10 a.m. and at CBS 4 Indy at 3 p.m. Ryan co-hosts with Jillian, and they do a great job. We've been on the show a bunch of times, and we have been
Absolutely.
the butt of the joke, and we were the guests. So clearly, Ryan's a liar, but it's all good because we enjoy it.
Thanks, man. Yeah.
And if you want to hear more of Ryan's music, you can look for Ryan Ahlwardt on all of the streaming services. And if you want to see any of his merch offerings, you can go to Ryan Songs, right?
Yep.
Ryan Songs.
RyanSongs.com.
And you can find all that stuff there where he's going to be live. So you can see him live if you're in the Indianapolis area or in the surrounding areas as well. Ryan, this has been awesome. We have been wanting to have you on for a long time. So we're happy that you were able to make it work.
Yeah.
And it's been awesome having you on, man. And I was going to ask the guys if there is anything left that they would like to say here as we wrap up with Ryan.
No, I think it was fun. Thanks for. I didn't know who was gonna go
Just
first.
as I expected.
I didn't know who was gonna go first.
Just as I expected. No comment from either of you.
I was
That's all
waiting
right.
for Tyler to go first.
I didn't. The prompter wasn't going. Sorry.
Yeah.
No, man. We were excited to have you as our
Thanks, man.
first non-group.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's right.
Group
Wow.
guest.
That's
So,
right.
yeah.
Thank you.
As
Yeah.
I said with the guys that in the group, this first is just a kind of where are you now kind of thing. But maybe next time we can have you in person and just kind of talk the talk and have a good time, man. It's been great.
Yeah.
I'd love that. Yeah. Thank you guys. I appreciate it. And shout out to everybody listening. Don't forget tea tree chewing sticks, the authentic choice from Australia.
Australian tea trees doing
With
this.
cinnamon
But
oil
I was,
and mint.
I was gonna say, dude, I freaking miss you. I wish you were still in the group.
I miss you
Yeah.
too.
Dude, like chopping it up with you on a daily basis was so great. So great. I miss it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was the best, man. It was
If you,
great.
guys, if you guys need a new host on Indy Now, let me know.
But I mean,
I will. Thank you.
I would just add though, I mean, I feel like almost every year we get to see you backstage or see you at a show or even have you sing with us like you have. So
Yeah, that was so you guys to have me
yeah.
do that with you. And for me,
Absolutely.
it's I mean, absolutely no offense to this. It's far less about the concert and it's more reconnecting, just what you said, Seg, just hanging out backstage, catching up, how the kids, how your wife's doing, all that good stuff.
Yeah.
Usually they're
and-
all running around backstage in Indy. So
Sure
Yeah.
are.
Yeah, but even just to share a meal together and hang out and catch up is always great. So this
Good.
has been a blast, and please let me know how I can share it once it's out. I just want to keep
Absolutely.
encouraging you guys to keep doing what you're doing because it's so cool. I love it. Mike, I think you're a wonderful primary host. I think it's so
Thank
cool.
you, man.
Segi, it's another extension of your humor from stage, but it's far more intimate. It's only like 4 or 5 people at a time. And Ty, you're like the great, what's the character that I'm trying to think of? Just kind of the straight guy. That's just, yeah, man. Yeah, cool. And like you'll just chime in and it's a different form of color commentary. It's early sweet corn, Iowa, Oklahoma, everyday
Right.
man conversation.
That's
and it's
what they-
great and it's fun
that's
to
what-
listen to and I
That's
love
what
it.
they call me, the everyday man.
The everyday man. How many
Nice.
animals
That's
do
a
you
good-
have?
Oh,
It's a
gosh.
it's a good James Taylor song. How many animals do you have? If I can interview
Two.
you for a sec.
you
Too
should guess
many.
first. You should guess first.
I have a lot. I actually don't even know. Somewhere up in the 20s or 30s.
Gosh,
Love
Tyler,
it.
that's a lot.
Love
Most of them are chickens. That's not a
That's
joke.
mean of you to say.
Most of them.
Nice.
Nice.
Your one mule takes offense to that.
But I will
Um,
say, in this crisis of eggs being
Mm.
expensive, I am
Topical.
crushing
you-
it.
That's right.
Topical
Crushing
and
it.
relevant. It's always what you've been, Tyler.
Speaking of
Um,
relevant,
all right.
with all the tornado talk,
Mm.
because we were in a tornado warning a couple of days ago, whatever. Last night, Leo was reading to me before he went to bed, and he was like, "Oh, he was reading a book about a tornado. He reads this series called I Survived. It's a children's
Yeah,
book
I've seen
series.
those. Yeah, those
Yeah.
are cool.
And he was like, "Dad, I feel like football players would love tornadoes because they touch down."
Oh gosh,
I was like,
Wow.
good.
"Okay,
Good.
You're on
It's-
track.
You're like,
I
all
like
right.
it.
Are you part dad?
Nice.
That's great, dude. Yeah, cool. Thanks for having me, guys.
All right, guys.
blessed.
I think that will do it for episode number 26 of the Unofficial Official Podcast. from Straight No Chaser. It's been nice to have Ryan Ahlwardt on this evening, and we hope you guys have liked what you've heard. And we're going to wrap it up here. For Mike Segi and Tyler Trepp and Ryan Ahlwardt, this has been the official podcast from Straight No Chaser, and we will see you guys next time. Thanks for listening.
See ya.